Jack Miller crumbles under pressure at his home Grand Prix, and Marco Bezzecchi just got hit with a penalty after the Marquez crash. What really happened? Let's break it down. Stay tuned till the end. Jack Miller is gearing up with high hopes for his home MotoGP race at Phillip Island, confident the Yamaha M1 will excel on the circuit's fast-flowing corners. Known for its speed and rhythm, Phillip Island should play to the strengths of Miller's bike, sparking optimism that he can deliver a strong performance this weekend. Miller is not just racing, he's soaking in the incredible atmosphere created by the passionate Australian fans who have always supported him. Reflecting on his past triumphs, Miller recalls his early days, including a memorable win at Phillip Island in the 2014 Moto3 Grand Prix. His deep connection with the track goes back even further to 2009, when he was a motocross racer, inspired by watching Julian Simon clinch the 125cc championship there. This personal history fuels Miller's excitement and determination as he prepares to race on home soil once again. Despite a tough season so far, with his best finish being 5th at COTA, Miller is focused and eager to prove himself. His teammate Miguel Oliveira, who has secured top 10 finishes in recent rounds and also boasts a Phillip Island win in the smaller classes, serves as additional motivation. Oliveira, returning strong after an injury last year, is aiming to start the weekend by quickly finding a good connection with his bike and pushing for Q2 qualification and points in both races. Yamaha's team director, Gino Borsoi, shares this optimistic outlook, pointing to encouraging signs of late despite the team currently sitting 5th and last in the constructors' standings. Borsoi believes Phillip Island offers a pivotal moment to turn the season around, with Jack's home race providing the perfect stage for a fresh start. The hope is that Miller can deliver a standout performance for the home crowd, just as he has done many times before. With Oliveira gearing up for his World SBK debut at Phillip Island in early 2026, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation. Borsoi is confident that Oliveira will maintain his excellent form, while Miller rides with the added electricity that only racing in front of a home crowd can bring. Both riders and the Yamaha team are focused on putting on a strong show in this iconic venue, blending home pride with fierce competition. Marco Bezzecchi has been handed a double long lap penalty for his opening lap collision with Marc Marquez at the Indonesian MotoGP last weekend. This ruling was announced by the FIM MotoGP stewards after a hearing delayed due to Bezzecchi's hospital scans. The penalty is set to be served at the upcoming Australian Grand Prix at Phillip Island, adding a significant challenge to Bezzecchi's race weekend as he contends with the consequences of this incident. The collision occurred at turn 8 early in the race and resulted in a serious injury for Marc Marquez. The veteran rider suffered a coracoid fracture and ligament damage to his right shoulder, which required surgery in Madrid. Due to the severity of his injury, Marquez will be sidelined for at least the next 2 rounds, with Ducati test rider Michele Pirro stepping in as his replacement this weekend. The FIM steward's official statement emphasised that Bezzecchi was found to be riding irresponsibly, causing a crash that endangered Marquez. This judgment was based on Article 1.21.2 of the FIM Grand Prix World Championship regulations, which addresses irresponsible riding that endangers other competitors. The stewards categorised the incident as Type MGP-CC5, pertaining to dangerous actions at the start or opening lap of a race. A double long lap penalty is a severe sanction in MotoGP. It requires the rider to take a designated long lap around an extended section of the track, costing them valuable seconds, typically between 2 and 4. This time, loss can drastically affect race positions, often enough to rule out podium possibilities. Being a double penalty, Bezzecchi will be required to take this lap twice, magnifying the disadvantage. The long lap penalty system was introduced as a mid-race sanction that balances fairness and safety. Unlike older penalties that required riders to drop positions immediately, the long lap is a clearly defined route with a fixed time penalty applied uniformly to all riders. It can be ordered for various infractions, such as exceeding track limits repeatedly, jump starts, or irresponsible riding, as in Bezzecchi's case. Notification of such penalties is displayed on riders' dashboards and on pit boards, with riders usually required to take the long lap within 3 laps after receiving the signal. Failure to comply voluntarily can lead to disqualification or the penalty carrying over to the next race. In Bezzecchi's scenario, the penalty from the Indonesian GP will directly impact his strategy and competitiveness at Phillip Island. The specifics of a double long lap penalty, like the one Bezzecchi faces, enforce a harsher consequence, often handed for repeat offences or serious infractions like jump starts or dangerous riding. This is intended to strongly deter reckless behaviour at crucial moments, especially at the start of a race when riders bunch tightly. Bezzecchi publicly apologised following the incident, expressing regret for his mistake and specifically apologising to Marc Marquez and his team. This shows a level of responsibility and sportsmanship despite the pressure and outcomes of the accident. The absence of Marquez for the next rounds is a blow for Ducati and MotoGP fans worldwide. His replacement, Michele Apiro, will have big shoes to fill, especially stepping in under such intense and emotional circumstances. Meanwhile, all eyes will be on Bezzecchi and how he manages his double long lap penalty in Australia. This incident highlights the constant tension in MotoGP between aggressive racing and the imperative for safety. The steward's strict enforcement of penalties like the long lap is a critical tool in maintaining this balance, ensuring riders compete within defined boundaries for their own and others' well-being. A double long lap penalty can dramatically affect race outcomes, strategically forcing penalised riders to adapt on the fly and often costing vital championship points. Phillip Island, with its high-speed corners and technical sections, will be a challenging venue for Bezzecchi as he serves this penalty. Watchers of the sport will also be keenly observing Marquez's recovery journey after his surgery, hoping for a strong comeback from one of MotoGP's most iconic figures. Meanwhile, the Australian GP is poised to be an intense weekend shadowed by this recent controversy and its fallout. Now it's over to the fans. How do you feel about the effectiveness of the long lap penalty system? Does a double long lap fairly punish dangerous behaviour, or does it swing too harshly? And will Bezzecchi be able to bounce back and maintain his season's momentum despite this setback? Share your thoughts and predictions ahead of what promises to be a thrilling Australian Grand Prix.